Welcome back to Fast RC, buddy. My name is Ryan. This week's episode of RC Weekly, we have a brand new vehicle release from Traxxas. Plus, we have 4th of July sales that we need to cover, so stick around and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Alright, so this week's episode of RC Weekly is going to go fast and furious, so buckle up so you don't miss anything. So first up, we need to talk about Traxxas, and we need to specifically talk about the Traxxas Raptor R Ultimate Edition that just was announced last week. I think that was on Friday, if I remember right. But anyways, nice to see that a new version of the Raptor R is coming out. I did make a video covering the 7 key differences between the Raptor R Ultimate versus the original Raptor R. So if you want to check that out, I'll go ahead and put it on the screen and in the description if you're interested. But in short, looks like we are getting a new edition of the Raptor R, and it's not just the regular edition, but it's the Raptor R Ultimate Edition. So it's got basically a 4S power system instead of a 3S power systems, which, looking at some of the other videos like from RC Driver, this thing can do over 60 miles an hour out of the box with a 4S battery, which is just insane. But also comes with some other upgrades, some aluminum upgrades, keeping in line with the Ultimate Edition package. So you got aluminum caster blocks, casters, steering blocks, C-hubs, motor plate is aluminum. Of course, you got aluminum drive shaft. Also some other upgrades with the shocks. You don't have the Ultra shocks anymore, but you have the GTR shocks instead. I already mentioned the 4S power system. You do get an upgraded servo, so it's a 2275 Traxxas servo, which is nice to see. And I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Oh, of course, the body. New liveries on the body, and that black and gold chef's kiss. That thing is just immaculate. Gosh, I almost wish I could just buy the body and just put it on my shelf, just that by itself. And I think that, oh, and then the Traxxas Link. So Traxxas Link comes installed on the transmitter. So if you want to mess around with telemetry, do speed runs and check speed and things like that, that comes standard out of the box. So coming in at $649.95 is a little bit on the expensive side. And right now I'm going to cover a sale with Traxxas where you can get the Maxx for less than that. So if you're, kind of looking to compare, the Ultimate Raptor R is a little bit expensive, but when that Maxx goes back to full price, $50 less for the Raptor R. I don't know, it kind of squeezes right in there. It's still a 4S capable rig, albeit a little bit smaller than the Maxx, so kind of got to weigh it out, have to have those discussions. But nonetheless, that Raptor R looks amazing, and I'm really glad that it's not going anywhere. I know some of you guys weren't fooled and you said the Raptor R was going to come back. Me, on the other hand, I was scarred by past Traxxas releases like the Telluride or the Funny Car, which I've had both, and then have since been discontinued for like almost 10 years, and we'll probably never see them again. Anyways, good to see it back. Let's go ahead and get to the next update. All right, and a couple more updates from Proline. So we got a new body that I failed to mention a couple weeks ago for the TLR 8 XTE new sector body. So if you have that truggy, you can actually get a new sector body from Proline. Like I said, failed to mention it a couple weeks ago, so that is on A-Main Hobbies and probably most hobby stores that you can find it. And then another thing that I forgot to mention about a month ago, I had it on the list, but I'm now just kind of rounding it up and putting it into RC Weekly in case anybody didn't know about it. Proline released a line of new spray paints. So I know Proline's been making paints for a while, and I've been specifically looking into like their liquid mask and some of their airbrush paints and stuff, but they actually released a new line of spray can paints, so you don't have to have an airbrush to use Proline paints anymore. You can actually go get the can version of their spray paints. I haven't looked up to see any reviews on those yet. I'm sure there are some reviews, but I am curious to try those and see how they do. So anyways, that's all I got for updates. Let's go ahead and get the sales. All right, so let's save some cash. So first up, we need to talk about Traxxas sales. So Traxxas has the All-American Summer Sale, which they just announced late last week. But the sales have actually been on A-Main since last week's edition of RC Weekly. So we're not going to cover any new sales per se, but they're still going, and there's some really good deals. So let's go ahead and get into them. So first up, we got the Traxxas Funko Pro Scale 2-wheel drive sand car at its lowest price in its lifetime of $1,169.96. So it's 10% off. Actually, all these sales are going to be 10% off, just FYI. Next up, we have the XRT 8S, which is 10% off at $899.96. And then we got the Traxxas Maxx/6S, which I talked about a few minutes ago. at $629.96. And then if we kind of roll down, we got the Traxxas TRX6 Ultimate RC Hauler on sale for $629.96. And then this one I mentioned last week is a really good deal. The Traxxas TRX6 Mercedes-Benz G63 on sale for $584.96. That's like the lowest price I've seen in like years. So not pretty good deal there if you want to get that one. And then next up, I think I talked about these. The TRX4s are on sale. The Defenders are on sale for $449.96. Talked about that last week. And then there's some other vehicles too. So a lot of TRX4s on sale. Some of the Fortex are on sale you can find. And then the Fortex drift car is actually on sale right now for $296.96. So usually that's like $330 car normally. Now it's just under $300 for the drift car. So yeah, good sales from Traxxas. Like I said, you can find these on Traxxas website, or you can find them on A-Main Hobbies. So pretty good deals there. Also too, I know I mention this every single week, but they also have their BL2S combo from Traxxas. So if you buy a BL2S model, whatever it is, Slash, Rustler, any of the BL2S models, you can get a free battery and charger with that combo. So pretty nice there. And then I also talked about the MT, or the monster truck sale that they got for the TRX4 MT. So the mini monster truck version on sale. If you buy two, you get $100 off. So those are all the sales from Traxxas. So let's go ahead and get to the next sale. All right, the next sale we need to talk about is from Tower Hobbies, and we have the Kyosho Hot Summer Deals where you can save up to 25% off on some vehicles that they got for sale. Urge you guys to go check them out. Unfortunately, I do not have the fancy graphs for this sale because I do not pull data from Tower Hobbies, but we can at least talk about it real quick. Just some of the vehicles they got. They got the Inferno Nitro Buggy on there, Phaser MK2 Rage. They have a few different mini Zs on there if you're into the mini Z scene, which I kind of want to get into someday. I think it sounds fun. In particular, they got the Land Rover Defenders. They got a Mercedes AMG GT3, Jeep Wranglers. But yeah, good selection of mini Zs. Plus two, the other one I wanted to note is they got the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro on there, four-wheel drive basher, which is kind of cool. So if you want to check that out. Overall, what I can tell from these prices, they look like pretty decent sales. I'd go ahead and check them out. Like I said, Tower Hobbies, want to see those, and let's go ahead and get to the next sale. All right, next sale we got to talk about is from Element RC, and it looks like they have like a bunch of their vehicles on sale. I know I mentioned this last week, and literally they're like almost all of their stuff is on sale. Still this week, still on sale. Headlined by all the stuff that you know from Element, such as the Sendero, the Enduro Night Runner, the 1/24 scale Senderos, the Trail Runner 24th scales, the 1/12 scale and Sendero. There's a bunch of Utrons, Bushidos, Trail Walkers, the Zuls, the Ecto Trails. Like literally everything is on sale. Almost everything. I don't say everything, but almost everything. And it's all 20 to 25% off. So like big savings on this one. If you want to go take a look at the big comprehensive list that I have it on fastrc.net. You can check it out. Of course, I know I've been flashing that on your screen, but there's a lot of sales from Element these past couple weeks. If you want to check that out, let's go ahead and get to the last sale. And the last sale I got to cover today is from Horizon Hobbies. They have the We Bought Big, You Save Bigger sale, which has been going on for a few weeks now. And this sale, pretty much, if you're looking to get a battery and charger, specifically something from Spectrum, this is the sale to do that. In particular, a couple sales I'll highlight is they have two sales. One is a 3S power package and the other is a 2S power package. Basically, you can get the same charger, which is the S155 charger, along with either a 3S or a 2S powered battery. Those sales coming in at $59.99 for the 3S package and $49.99 for the 2S package. It's honestly like not bad. Like if you need a charger and a LiPo battery, it's a pretty good sale for being honest. So that's all I got for that sale. You can go and check it out at horizonhobbies.com. But let's go ahead and get to Scratch and Dent. And welcome to my favorite section, the Scratch and Dent. So this week we're going to cover some Scratch and Dent vehicles from amenhobbies.com. You can find those linked down in the description. Whew. Okay, so the list we're going to get to is pretty much almost identical to last week's list. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I'll preface this by saying this week and last week were probably not the best weeks to pick up Scratch and Dent vehicles unless you're looking for something very specific, especially the vehicles from Traxxas, because there's so many sales going on right now on a lot of the Traxxas crawlers, some of the bashers, and then sales with Element RC. Some of these Scratch and Dents don't quite look as appealing, but when those sales go away, then these Scratch and Dents will probably look a little bit better. Anyways, let's go and dive into it. So first we got the Red Cat Custom Hauler, which has been on the list now for 3 or 4 weeks. I'll have to go take a look at the dashboard on that. So $411.23, it looks like it's the same price as last week. Team Associated DR10 is on sale for $442.99, still overpriced. Next up, we got the Traxxas TRX4, the Land Rover Defender, $429.99. That's a little bit less than the actual sales price, so you could save 20 bucks there. Not bad. Then we got the Traxxas Trax Rally Car on sale for $106.99. That's not too bad, 10% off. And then we got the Kyosho Inferno GT2 Race Spec Mercedes, $590.99, 10% off. And then we got the Axial SCX 424. This is the Gladiator. Don't mind my light going off. Gladiator, $122.99. And then we got the Kyosho. This is a new one, Kyosho MR03 Mini Z on sale for $162.99. And then a Traxxas Fortec 3.0 BL2S on sale for $353.99. I actually think you can get that exact car cheaper on sale right now. I have to go look. Actually, let's go take a look real quick. I will go back. Don't mind me, just checking some sales prices here real quick. I'll get you an answer, and so this is the 3.0 BL2S Super Body. Oh yeah, no, it's on sale, $341.96. So you actually get it cheaper, brand new right now with the Traxxas sale. So that's what I was talking about. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys for Scratch and Dent. Hope you guys got something out of this episode. I know we're kind of light on updates and the sales we're kind of rehashing from last week, but that's how it goes sometimes for RC Weekly. We got to rehash some stuff. But let me know what you guys think of any of the updates, any of the sales. Love reading your guys' comment and all the feedback I get from you guys. And that's all I got. So I'll see you on the next edition of RC Weekly. Take care, guys.